Hello and welcome to week 2 of our journey through Old Testament theology. So last week we looked at Exodus 6:3, which is where God first reveals himself as Yahweh to Moses. This week I want to look at a earlier passage in Genesis chapter 14. You'll remember that in Exodus 6:3 it says that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob knew Yahweh as El Shaddai. They did not as God Almighty. They did not yet know him as Yahweh. And so we want to go back to the time of Abraham and look at a passage in Genesis 14 this week where the king of God Most High, that's not El Shaddai, but it's the same person, right? El Shaddai is God Almighty, which is El Elyon, God Most High. And so we want to look at this little vignette where Melchizedek meets Abraham after a battle. Today, this is the first day of the week, we want to look at the Hebrew letters as is our custom. And so I wanted to do 2 verses. And so let me go ahead and, as usual, I will pause, say the letter, pause, say the vowel, pause, say the next letter, pause, say the next vowel. So it gets a little monotonous, but it gives you time to pause the recording so that you can guess it yourself. So let's go. This is a sharuk. It's sharuk. Okay, it's a vav with a dot in it, a dagish. Okay, I guess is it a dagish? I guess it's not really a dagish, but anyway, maybe it is. But it basically tells us that this is a long U. I transliterate it as a U with a hat on it. Next letter is mem. Next vowel is patak. Next letter is lamed. This is a silent schwa, which means it closes the syllable. We have a short vowel here. A shava followed by short vowel is a silent schwa. So umal. This is a kaf with a hardening dagish. Since it's beginning a syllable, it's not a doubling dagish. It's a dagish lene, a light dagish, a dagish katon. This combination is a hirik yod, transliterated with an I with a hat over it, but it's pronounced E. So we have U mal ki. Makef. This letter is a tzade. This vowel is a segol. This letter is a dalet. This vowel is a segol. And this letter is a, I feel like saying, this little piggy went to market, and this little piggy had none. Okay, this is a kof. So putting it all together, we have Melchizedek. Wait a minute, Melchizedek? Melchizedek. Melchizedek's name basically means my king is righteous, although Hebrews interprets it as is that how Hebrews interprets it? One moment, please. Sorry, I'm getting old. Hebrews interprets it as king of righteousness. I'm not sure that the author of Hebrews knew Hebrew. Probably he didn't, which is another indicator that wouldn't be Paul. Hebrews, interestingly, follows Philo, a Jewish philosopher's understanding of the name Melchizedek, king of righteousness. But anyway, I don't want to get into that ahead of myself on Friday when we do the interpretation. So now we might translate the vav as now Melchizedek. This letter is a mem. This vowel is a segol. This letter is a lamed. Segol. A final kaf with a silent shva in it. Melech, king. Same, we saw it up here. Melchizedek. My king is righteous. Here is Melchizedek. Now Melchizedek, king of, this is a sheen, kamatz, lamed, sere, a final mem. So this is Shalem, king of Shalem. What is he king of? He's king of Salem. By the way, the consonants here are the consonants of shalom. And of course, Hebrews, like Philo, will interpret that to mean he's king of peace. Okay, Melchizedek, My God is King is his name. King of Salem. Now, next word. Hey. This is a Cholam Vav, a vowel consonant combination, long O, an O with a hat on it. Tzade, what's this combination? Hirik Yod, and a quiescent aleph after this long vowel. So this is Ho Tse. Can you see? Okay, so this is the one he caused to bring, he caused to come out. He brought, what did he bring? He brought Lamed, Segol, lots of Segol. It's Segol day. Chet, Segol, final Mem. Lechem. I like lechem. I had some lechem for lunch. Lechem is bread. Beth Lechem, house of bread. Bethlehem. Anyway, Jerusalem, has shalom in it too, peace. Lots of echoes here of places. In fact, Salem may have been Jerusalem before it was Jerusalem. Certainly that's Jewish tradition. Okay. So he brought lechem, bread, vayayin, wine, bread and wine. Vav, kamatz. Yod, kamatz. Yod, hirik. Final nun. Lechem vayayin, bread and wine. Okay? Now we're going to hear who is this Melchizedek? Vav, vocal schwa, Hey, Shruk, Aleph, quiescent Aleph after a long vowel. Vahu. My Hebrew professor, Lawson Stone at Asbury, used to say that Hebrew is a language where he is she, and who is he, and dog is fish, and me is who. Anyway, so who is he? This is what this word means. Who, it's pronounced who, and it means he. And he, Kaf, Cholam, Hey, Sere, final nun, Kohen. If you know anybody, it's a Jewish name, Cohen. Anybody with a Jewish name, Cohen, their name means priest. It suggests that historically they have some sort of priestly genealogy in their past. Michael Cohen is in the news a lot these days. He has a priestly genealogy in his history, perhaps. So this next word is Lamed, vocal schwa, because it's after the first consonant. Aleph, Sere, Lamed, La'el. Now you should know El by now if you're observant. El means God, okay? And he was priest to God. Next letter, Ayin, Segol, Lamed again, lots of Lameds on this row. Silent schwa, because it's a short vowel, so this closes the syllable, El. So that's not pronounced. Yod, oh, I didn't catch this one. I've been moving, for whatever reasons, when I cut and paste this from Blue Letter Bible, the holums get messed up. I didn't catch this one. The holum should be over the vav. So it's Yod, holum, vav, final nun. And so what we have here is to El Elyon, to God Most High. Now, if you think about it, if you live in a pluralistic world, you live in a polytheistic world where there are many gods around, and you don't know yet that God's proper name is Yahweh, what are you going to call God? Well, you know he's the Most High God. I mean, there are other gods out there. There are Baal and Dagon and Marduk and Molech, and you have all these gods out here. But what you know for sure, now remember, there's no Bible. Abraham doesn't have a Bible. What you know is that there is a Most High God. And so it makes sense. That's what they're going to call him, right? El Elyon, the God Most High. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, El Elyon Adonai. Anyway, okay, so and he was priest of God Most High. Let's do the next verse a little bit more quickly if I can make myself. So hit the pause more quickly. Vav, Kamatz. Yod, Shava. This is a vocal shva because it's the beginning of a syllable. Va, ya. Bait, without a dagesh, so it's pronounced like a V. Kamatz, Resh. Va, ya, bar, ke, hu. Now, let me pause just to double check something real quick. Okay, we haven't encountered this yet this is now actually the 7th week of our Hebrew time. This is a little ambiguous. I haven't told you this, and maybe I shouldn't tell you now, but let me explain why I paused the tape. So this kamatz here, our default should be to think it's a long A, and it actually is a long A here. That's why maybe I shouldn't tell you this. But depending on whether this final shava is a silent shva or a vocal shva, it tells us something different about this kamatz. Now, as it turns out, this kamatz is a long A. And so after a long vowel, this shava is going to be a vocal shva. So it's va, ya, va, ra, ke, hu. Okay? It's a vocal schwa. However, there is a situation where if this had been a closed syllable and this had been a silent schwa, there is actually a short O called a kamatz katuf. Is that what I'm talking about? That's a kamatz that's an O. Yes, a kamatz katuf. And so this could have been a short O. It turns out it isn't. And I'll tell you on Friday why it isn't. Okay, so we have resh, vocal schwa. Again, I'll tell you on Friday how I know that's a vocal schwa. Kaf, sere, hey, sharuk. Ooh. Okay, then vayomer, this is something you'll see all over the Old Testament, all over the narratives of the Bible. And God said, or and he said, is what this means. Vav, patak, yod, a doubled yod, cholam, vayo, aleph, quiesces after the long O, mem, patak, resh, va, yo, mar, vayomar here actually. And he said, and he blessed him, and he said, this is Melchizedek blessing Abraham, beit, kamatz, resh, sharuk, final kaf with a silent schwa, baruch, blessed. So if you know anybody named Baruch, their name means blessed. Blessed be, aleph, patak, beit with no dagish, so it's a v sound, silent shava because it's following a short vowel, av, resh, kamatz, final mem, avram. Now, what is that? Avram, can you guess? It's Abram. Abram. Blessed be Abram. Lamed, vocal schwa. Aleph, sere, lamed. Have we seen this before? We have. To God. Ayin, segol. Lamed, silent schwa. So al, el, yod. What's this combination? Cholam vav. By the way, in my brief checking on something, I did fix the cholam vav. Anyway, fixed it here too. Final nun, elyon. So blessed be Abraham. Notice that the B is not there. Blessed be Abraham to God Most High. Kof, cholam, nun, sere, hey. Kone, to God Most High, the one who possesses heaven and earth. He's the one that owns all this stuff. Shin, kamatz. Mem, patak. Yod, hirik. Final mem, shamayim, the heavens or the skies. Vav, kamatz. Aleph, kamatz. Resh, segol. A final sade and a sof pasuk. Okay, so there you have the letters of Genesis 14, 18 through 19. On Wednesday, I'll do my podcast extending what we started with last week. What are the names of God in Genesis? Before God made himself known as Yahweh, what were the names of God in Genesis? That's what we'll talk about in our podcast on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we'll return to these verses and talk about the Hebrew grammar. So we begin week 2 of our Old Testament theology series.